In this video, we're going to be replacing the front grille of this 2007 Mazda CX-9. Right here inside our driver's fender liner, you'll see your bumper brake. Right on the inside of that, you're going to find one Phillips clip. I'm going to lightly unscrew that. You'll see the whole thing's moving. We just want the center to move. So we're going to hold the outside and lightly unscrew this. They should back out. And we'll just use a pair of panel pliers. Just pop that clip out. And this process for this clip will be the same on the other side. Now underneath our vehicle, we're going to start here in this corner of this outside lip. You're going to have some 8mm bolts or Phillips head screws. We're going to use the 8mm option. We're going to run all the way around the outside, take these out. Once we get to about here, they're going to be Phillips head screws. And then they'll pick back up over here to 8mm bolts. All right, so starting in the corner here. So right here, we have a 10mm. Directly across the way, we have another 10. We'll take this one out. We have one more 10mm here. Now it looks like our vehicle's missing an actual panel or a piece that went here. This is when you would take this out. These are actually clips for bolts. So if you have more here, go ahead and take them out. This clip here, you can actually, if you feel around the back while you're spinning it, just be careful. You can feel the nut spinning. We'll take this one out. What we have on the back of this clip here is a nut that actually broke free from the clip and spinning. So what we're going to do is use it's actually a 10mm, but it's so rusty in there, we're going to try and use an 11mm, see if we can just grab it enough to hold it in place. So now we have about 4 push clips left on our vehicle. We're going to remove those with a panel tool. This is going to separate your inner fender liner from your splash shield. At this point, this panel is actually loose. If you want to take it out so it doesn't fall on you, you just go ahead and lift it right out. And now that same panel on the passenger side. 2 more push clips. And once you have that push clip removed, you can then take down this panel. And now the center panel, you should be able to pull it downwards and out to the rear of the vehicle and remove it. So right up here in the top corner underneath your hood, you'll have a push clip here. Go ahead and pop that out. You'll have the same one on the other side. You'll have 2 Phillips screws, one on each side. Ours are actually just spinning free, which means that the inside catch is broken. You would normally just go ahead and back these screws right out. We're going to have to fight with these a little bit. So right here next to our hood latch on both sides, we have a 2-piece push clip. We'll remove those. So the next step we're going to do is actually take this trim piece off, because the top of this trim piece sits underneath this trim piece here. So we're going to use a pry tool, our panel tool. We're going to try and pop these clips out. All right, so we're going to grab a hold of this piece here. Just going to pull it towards us. We don't need to fully remove it. All we need to do is get this lip out from underneath this fender liner here, or this fender molding. Now, we can grab a hold of the bumper right in here. We're going to pull the bumper to us. We're going to pop it out of this clip here. So there's a Phillips right in here, a little Phillips push clip. We're going to remove that clip. What that's going to allow us to do is move just this end here of our wheel opening molding, so that way we can get this side out from under it. With that Phillips screw removed, we're going to pry just the end of that wheel opening molding out. We're going to use a panel tool here with a rag behind it so we don't do any damage to the paint. We're just going to pop that end out a little bit, just like that. Once we have that done, grab a hold of our bumper here or on the side, and we can pull our bumper straight out and away from the car. We're going to try and separate it right here. Now the next step is much easier done with two people, but if you have to do it by yourself, what we're going to do is make sure that both sides are loose and pulled away all the way out by the headlight area. We're going to grab a hold of our top grill area here. We're going to pull it up and towards us. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure the fender and the headlight area is pulled out. Then you can grab your bumper from the middle, just kind of lift up and walk it away from the vehicle. So now we have a little Phillips head push clip right here. We have one on the other side. We have two Phillips screws right here. We have a Phillips screw right here. And if we follow this straight down, we have another one. Coming straight back here. Jump over the emblem, we have one more. And straight back up here, there's another one. And going right up top to the opposite of the first one. So inside our grill here, you'll see we have a couple of push tabs. We're going to take this piece off here, give us a little bit more access to those clips, make it a little easier to work. We need 4 Phillips screws. Now this piece here will lift right up and out. We can set that aside. Okay, so once you get your clips out of here, you should have your whole grill come out as one piece. So now to separate our chrome trim from our grill, we have a couple of slots right here that we're going to use to pry backwards. And inside these holes, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. There's going to be a few tabs locking that chrome grill into place. So we're going to go ahead and open up those tabs and pry backwards here to remove our chrome trim. This again is probably a good job for 2 people. So now you can see we have a little bit of a separation along the bottom here. We're just going to continue to work that all the way across the trim. So what we're finding to work here best is keep a little pressure right next to the clip. Come in with another small screwdriver or pick, press that clip back and away. And just keep working down the line. And there is one more hidden behind this area here, straight back down, right in here. And you can flip your grill over and remove your chrome trim. So these are the tabs that we were pushing in that lock in there. So now across our top here, you can see that there's a separation in this panel. This inside panel here, this top panel, will be separate from your grill, held in by 4 Phillips head push clips. There's 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. So go ahead and remove those clips now. Just use a Phillips head screwdriver. Try not to push as you're unscrewing these. You can remove this top piece here. And this is the piece that your hood latch goes in between. So now we're going to remove our Mazda chrome grille. It's going to be held in on the back side by a few clips. Hardest ones to get to are up in here, which would be the top side. So we'll start with those. We're just going to push them in with a small pocket screwdriver and push down at the same time. We're going to do that all the way around. I'm holding my thumb on this one because this one is actually already free. So on the other side, I'm going to get my finger in between there just to hold it separated. And you can see on the other side we have a little gap started. And then just come around the outside with a small pocket screwdriver just to help pop it out the rest of the way. There you have your emblem. To install your Mazda emblem, you're going to line up your clips with your grill, and you're going to push, or squeeze in this case, in. Now from here, we're going to put in our top panel onto our grill, which goes underneath. There's going to be a few locating pins on this. And once you have your locating pins in place, there are going to be 4 push clips. And now for our top grill chrome trim. I'm just going to line it up and center it around our emblem here. Once we get it centered up, we'll just give it a light push backwards, make sure everything's lined up, and we're just going to squeeze it together. Give it a little tug forward, make sure you're locked in all the way. So now to install our grill assembly onto our bumper, we're going to need to line up all these tabs. Easiest thing to start with is line up your center 2 tabs here by your emblem. And then work in the left and right. Once it looks like you have all your tabs lined up in their respective slots, you can go ahead and start to squeeze them together or push them together. And you want to take another walk around and just make sure all of these locks are set. Now up front we have 2 screws here. Now on the top corners of our grille assembly to the bumper we have 2 screws. And now we can put in our center piece here in our bumper. This piece is going to hold our grille in and attach with some screws top and bottom. You want to make sure you have a couple of tabs here. You want to make sure that they're aligned. Now we're going to install our bumper. We're going to bring our bumper up to the car. We're going to center in and put our center piece here in line and mostly in place. Now something you're going to have to pay attention to is your headlight area. The bumper is going to need to go into the plastic tabs just underneath the headlights. Once you have those set left and right, you should be able to push your bumper in place in the center. Now from here, we're going to put our 2 clips in place to hold our bumper while we work on the rest. So now here on the passenger side, we're going to put in a couple of our push clips, a small little one here. We have a larger one in the back. Right here is where you would put your Phillips screw back in place, but unfortunately ours broke, so we won't be able to do that. So now on the fender side here of our passenger side, we're going to have to get these clips into this fender clip here, which means we're going to have to get this underneath our wheel opening molding. So we'll pull our wheel opening molding back slightly, lift our bumper corner into place, and we'll give it a couple of good taps in. Just want to make sure you're underneath your headlight there. Once that's back into place, we can push our wheel opening molding back into place, and we can focus on our fender liner. So here on our fender liner on our passenger side, we're going to take our bumper and just open it up a little bit, put our fender liner behind the bumper lip here. Once we have that done, we can go up a little bit further. We see we have a push clip here. Put that back in. And a little bit further down, we have one more. And you'd want to do the same thing on the other side. So now for our splash shield, we're going to put this up, line up our tabs here, push it into position. And again, these are going to be all Phillips. And then straight back we have 2 10mm bolts. So now our driver's side corner splash shield. Lift that up into place. And then these bolts holding this side in, they're going to be our 8mm. And now we have a few push clips here. One's going to be a push clip to hold into our fender liner, which our fender liner will actually go on the outside. And if we follow that across the front area here, we have one more. And we'll do the same on the other side. So now on our passenger side, we'll put our corner splash shield up.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.